Hey, welcome to the channel. This is Leo Toys for another totally normal review. The normal part I can't promise you, and I just came back from being sick, so excuse my voice. But let's get the big question out of the way. Is he worth it? Not really. And heck, you could get some Bakugans for cheaper too. So that's probably an unfair comparison since he does come with a free golden bowl for drinking. Starting off with this fancy parallelogram, since he comes packaged like this, I have to admit, the moment I got him, I was very confused. On one side, I was happy to be able to make Lion King and cat memes in his beast mode, but just having this guy in cassette mode, I'm not really feeling it's all there. And this isn't a hard and soft situation where we can have both, but it feels like more of a kind of win one, lose the other situation with the alt mode, which understandably, for being a budget figure, has a compromised alt mode with his hollow gaps and other empty areas. Especially being the latest cassette bot in the Legacy and Studio Series lineup, it really feels like a step backwards rather than forwards. Though he is for the most part fairly accurate to his G1 cartoon model, he's clearly missing paint with the second spool and lower areas, which makes him look like a half-complete cassette. Like we saw in the Bumblebee review, I believe this may be made of that harder to paint plastic, thus the lack of paint in the spool and the color mismatching. And so on the note of incomplete halves, the other side doesn't really look the part either, with the confused spools. So, in not completing your homework and trying to hide it from your teacher fashion, facing him this way is the way to go. Now to the moment we've been waiting for. Can Steeljaw fit into Blaster? He's an extremely tight fit due to the two tabs here that stick out, and it's a widespread problem from what I've seen, which is a very interesting oversight. You can see how Steeljaw is slightly bigger than Rumble, and the same with Eject, which is why he has tolerance problems. He can't fit Legacy Soundwave too. This is blasphemy. I did think of sanding it, but I'm afraid it could compromise the stability of the hind legs in Lion mode. Fortunately though, you can insert it the other way. And same with Soundwave. From this angle, he does look like a sponge though. But yeah, issues aside, he looks pretty good in the see-through blue of Legacy Blaster's chest. I wouldn't recommend keeping him in there for too long though, because I wouldn't take any chances in potentially stressing out that oh so beautiful see-through plastic. Sorry Steeljaw, I won't be playing you today. Okay, at this point, it's quite hard to see the bright side of Steeljaw. So, in trying to see the bright side of Steeljaw, here's some fan modes I came up with. Also, I might make a fan mode transformation video for him, so I'll link it in the comments below once it's done. And now, let's transform this pancake into cat mode. And now he's transformed. Here he is in his Simba mode glory. Honestly, the transformation was pretty fun for me just because it's quick to do, and Lion Face goes split. But in this mode, he looks pretty good in all angles. Here, here, not there, and here. I would say they capture the golden essence of his lion being quite well, though some of the glaring differences are how his legs aren't painted grey, which is a shame, and how his eyes are painted blue instead of yellow, which is better in my opinion for the sake of Autobot blue-white consistency. Also, I can appreciate that they didn't cheap out and painted his teeth white, even for not being as sharp as they should be. I honestly prefer it this way, since you have to pull his head out during transformation, and I wouldn't want to resort to retainers for his teeth if it breaks. Now for articulation, he has a hinge head rip because Megatron likes his Autobots in 2, hinge front legs, gun wing swivel, hinge rear legs, rear end twist, and gun swivel. You can use blast effects on his guns too, which thankfully can't strip off any paint as this is golden plastic. I wish they would have given him more articulation in the knees, paws of his legs, and give some ball joints in the upper legs too, so he can pull off more expressive poses, just like his packaging art, and how we've seen with Bumblebee movie Ravage, especially considering... I mean, at least he can stand up like a human, so if you guys are crazy enough to buy an army of Steeljaws to recreate this scene, then please, tag me, I'd love to see this. But seriously, look after your wallet first, this guy's not worth it. And does he have a flight stand port? No, of course he doesn't, because checkmate. Now taking a look at accessories, we'll start off with this tail wing shooter. Unfortunately, the tail isn't integrated into the transformation itself, but honestly, I'm able to accept it being a separate piece, as rather than having to pop off 2 pieces with the guns, which you could easily lose, it's a 2 birds with 1 stone situation by popping off the whole tail in one go. And I'm glad they didn't lock the wings into place, since my favorite part is that you can take them out just like this. And because they're on the standard 3mm core class ports, you can plug them into any other core class, and target masters too. Damn, I'm good. And to add to his tail wing shooter, he has this megaphone, which Blaster uses against Soundwave in the G1 episode Autobop. In the episode, Blaster does use 2, so I imagine the other megaphone will be coming with the inevitable SS86 ram horn. Now to fit it onto Blaster, all you need to do is line this part of the port into his hand and slot it in. Looks pretty awesome in it. It does fit on both hands too if you're curious. And as Emgo says, it's Bloosh compatible. Alright, time to wake up the neighbors. And to make it compatible with Steeljaw's 5mm port, you have to slot this megaphone attachment piece into the bottom of the megaphone. But first, you do have to take out the tail wing piece on Steeljaw. Now here he is with the megaphone. I'm still getting through the G1 cartoon, but I don't believe Steeljaw ever uses this. But let me know in the comments below if he does. I have to say though, a cat with a megaphone is not a good mix. There's no way anyone's going to be able to sleep tonight, but at least the lion will. But yeah, just looking at the accessories, it's basically an upgrade kit for Blaster for the most part. I mean, to be fair, he is Blaster's household pet, and pets can get expensive. Here's how tall Steeljaw stands. And this is how wide he is. Now here's some comparisons. I'll go through these quick, so pause if you want to see them. Although this guy doesn't quite feel core class price worthy and has what feels like a half-finished alt mode, he's a decently faithful representation of his 86 look and an okay figure as he is. And because this is obviously targeted at those who already have Blaster, I feel the upgrade kit aspect of him, as much as being a strength, is also a flaw in that he feels too much of an upgrade kit to Blaster, rather than being able to stand out as a cool core class bot to get by himself, which in my opinion is a huge difference to how Rumble stands out as a cool bot by himself, over the fact that he's basically an add-on for Soundwave. I guess it's also the dilemma of trying to sell such a small figure alone, with having to factor engineering costs. So to make up for the size, they should have considered putting him in a multi-pack with other core classes, or party-packed him with Blaster in the first place, similar to how the new Legacy Soundwave comes with 3 other cassette bots. But yeah, for me personally, I'm a little disappointed, but at the same time happy I do have him, as I can foresee him going for a lot on the aftermarket, just like the other cassette bots. One day. Plus, at least it's fun, given his cross-compatible accessories. So if you don't have Blaster, maybe not wise to get him, and it's completely okay to sleep on, if you're not feeling it. So overall, for my final rating, he gets 6 hearts out of 10. Hope you guys enjoy that totally normal review. If you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you didn't like this video, then go watch Emgo Jobby or someone, they're way cooler.